Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer Huber, also known as Solo Travel Girl, and since June of 2022, I've been using Mounjaro to manage my type 2 diabetes. Before I get into this week's update, which is week 77, I just want to share with you briefly how Mounjaro has improved my life. Since taking the medication about a year and a half ago, I have lost about 60 pounds. I had an A1C of 8.2 when I started, and now it's 5.4. I had high blood pressure, and I was on a high blood pressure medication. I no longer have high blood pressure. I'm no longer on that medication. I did have high cholesterol, and it's still a little bit elevated, so I continue to be on my statin, but I'm hoping that I will be off of that soon. And I did have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease when I began this journey, but that has since been reversed. So definitely Mounjaro basically has been an amazing aid in helping me achieve my health goals. Now before I get into this week's update, I just want to remind you that I'm not a healthcare professional, and I'm just sharing my personal experience and opinion about using Mounjaro to manage my type 2 diabetes. Also, I have no relationship with the drug manufacturer, Eli Lilly, and I have no relationship with any pharmacy that is selling Mounjaro or Mounjaro-like products. I'm just like you. I'm just me. I'm just like you. Anyway, so Friday was my week 77th journey with Mounjaro, and that's at the 7.5 dose I injected myself. Just a little bit of side effects yesterday, some nauseousness, but that's pretty much it. And I guess it's pretty amazing that I've been on this medication at the 7.5 dose for months now, and I still have a slight side effect. But I do see a correlation with what I eat with the side effects. So the better I eat, the cleaner I eat, the fewer side effects I have. Well, this week it was full of festive fun in the office, and honestly I gained 2 pounds this week. So I'm up to 134 pounds. Not bad about that. It's the holidays, and I'm just giving myself grace and enjoying what I can. Obviously food tastes different. I'm not eating as much as I would, or drinking. I don't have the desire to drink alcohol, really. And I say really, but some alcohol still tastes okay. But yeah, gained 2 pounds. I'm up to 134, and I'm okay with that. Nutrition, it wasn't as bad. I didn't have a fast food week, which was good, but I did have a lot of a comfort food, I guess you could say, from the office and elsewhere. So exercise was just a lot of walking with my dog. And glucose numbers, let's talk about glucose. My glucose numbers were in the 70s to the 90s in the morning. So you can see those numbers right here. I didn't have any really low days that I did like a couple weeks ago, so that's good. Alright, so let's get into this week's topic, because I think I covered everything. Glucose, weight, exercise, nutrition. So this week's topic is about the pros and cons of using Mounjaro from my perspective. A friend of mine, she's been a type 2 diabetic for probably well over a decade, and she reached out to me because her doctor suggested that she go on Mounjaro. So she wanted to get my feedback about the pros and cons, and I thought, wow, this would be great content for this week's video. So I made out a list, and basically I have 8 cons and 8 pros, and I know I probably could have gone deeper into the pros and the cons, and at one point I had more cons than pros, but the pros just seemed to still outweigh the cons. Anyway, so let's get to it. So the cons, in my opinion, about using Mounjaro, they include the accessibility and the availability. Is it always going to be available to you once you start a prescription? Are you going to be able to access the dosage that you need? The cost, and is your insurance company going to pay for it? If your insurance company isn't going to pay for it, are you still going to be able to afford being on Mounjaro? Number 3, side effects. I've experienced several side effects. I haven't experienced all the side effects, but some of those things that I have experienced include tiredness, lower back pain, which I suspect is from a loss of muscle, constipation, Nauseousness. I did have that vomiting episode. And then there are days after I take the medication that I am just freezing cold. Even when it's hot, I am cold. Other side effects, obviously I'm keeping track of the growth on my thyroid. That growth did appear, or the growth was there before I started Mounjaro. I had it biopsied last year, or earlier this year. My time flies. I had it biopsied, and it's okay, but my doctor's just keeping an eye on it because a side effect, or I don't want to say a side effect. I guess in lab rats, some lab rats developed like thyroid cancer from using Mounjaro. So if you do have thyroid issues or have had issues in the past, that's something to consider. Number 4, food tastes differently. Perhaps that could be a pro, but food just tastes differently. A lot of the food has dulled. I don't have an appetite for a lot of foods that I love, like popcorn, but food just tastes differently. So if you socialize with food or express yourself through food, you might have a challenging part with that, with retraining yourself. If you're not into needles, Mounjaro might not be for you. I don't think it's bad at all. I'm okay with needles, but I know some people are just really afraid of needles, and really with Mounjaro, you don't even see the needle, the way that it goes, and it's pretty easy to inject yourself, just as long as you remember to take the cap off. Refrigeration, you need to refrigerate this medication. Now, yes, I know it could be out of the refrigerator for some time, but for extended storage, it does need to be kept refrigerated. This goes back to side effects, but I pulled this out on its own just because I thought it was important that this medication has been tied to depression, so this medication might impact your mental health. Now, I was thinking about this, and more than last year ago, a year ago was Hurricane Ian, and I was dealing with a lot of issues with that. And then I thought, well, maybe that was from the medication, but I'm thinking, no, it's pretty much what I went through and with the storm and that. But on the upside, and I guess it could be a pro, is that if you're meeting your health goals, it's going to help your mental health as well. And then this con, I know it's kind of a silly one. This is number 8. You're going to have to purchase new clothing. Yeah. So anyway, my pros are, for me, Mounjaro has been very effective in lowering A1C and weight loss. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that I did not take this medication for weight loss. I really had no idea. I didn't believe that the weight loss would be this significant. But because it is effective, number 2, you're seeing results relatively quickly, and that's the motivation to keep eating clean and to moving more. Number 3 is tied to the exercise, is that you do need to exercise, but it's not over-the-top type exercising. I didn't go crazy with my exercising, but I was doing Pilates and Pyo or yoga, and obviously walking twice a day. So it's not like I was going to the gym and lifting weights. Perhaps if I had a regular routine and strength training, I would see different results, or my body would be different, so to say, shaped different. Number 4, a pro, your relationship with food changes. I think that could be a con, but also it's a pro as well, because you're retraining yourself to portion sizes and eat when you're hungry. It's easy to inject. That's another reason. That's another pro. You're going to save on your grocery budget because you're not quite eating as much. And you get to go shop for a new wardrobe with all that money that you're saving. Now, I know I had that as a con, but it can also be a pro as well. But I think most importantly, number 8 is you achieve your health goals using Mounjaro. Now, I know Mounjaro isn't necessarily for everyone, and not everyone has the same results. Not everyone has the same results as I do. I don't have the same results as other people. But those are my pros and cons for staying on Mounjaro. And if you're looking to start Mounjaro, I think you need to, or I know you need to have a conversation with your healthcare provider to determine whether this is for you. All right, so that's all I have for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a video uploaded next week because next week is Christmas Eve and I'm going to be somewhere on the road driving to my parents' house with my dog in tow. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get a video up. I might put up just a hey Merry Christmas video up, so I'm not sure I'm going to have an update video, but we shall see. I do have another video posting this week about my stay at the Margaritaville Resort in Hollywood Beach, Florida. You get to see the hotel room I stayed in. But other than that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for following me on this journey. I really do appreciate you. And when you go out and about this week, just remember to not only be kind to others, but please be kind to yourself. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.